Megan from Manifesting Me. Thank you so much for joining me. I write, talk about, and teach manifesting. I have a book available on Amazon.com called The Pocket Guide to Manifesting. I also do customized one-on-one sessions, which I've linked to in the description box of this video if you're interested. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. It helps other people find it. Subscribe if you want to know when new videos are posted. So today, here's my message: dream big. Dream as big as you possibly can and or want to, but here's the thing. Dreaming what we want, how we want it, how we want to feel, go big. Absolutely everything that we can think of, construe, feel in our hearts can be ours. There's no limit. There's no rules that say, well, they can have that, but I can't. Or the only rules, as a lot of you know, is just what we think. It's what we believe. If we believe that we can't have something, then guess what? We're not going to be a match for it right now until we change our thinking to the lines of, yeah, I can have that. I can have that now. I deserve it. You know, the time has come. That's what does it. That's what brings the really good stuff into our life that we want, is us deciding that we can have it, we want it, and okay, now I feel it. I'm a vibrational match. Thank you so much, universe. There was a time in my life where I kind of thought my life had to follow a very specific plan, and it was based on what I had seen, growing up, what I'd seen from family, from friends, maybe what I was told in school. But there's a part of me that was also like, I don't really know. I don't know if their rules apply to me. So maybe I had a little bit of defiance going on that just kind of pulses through my veins. But, you know, for a while, I kind of followed the plan and lived my life according to how I believed that it should play out. And then I just reached a point where I went, oh, you know what? But that plan, their plan, whatever you want to call it, isn't bringing me joy. I really want to live a life that feels good to me and that I'm proud of. There's a whole other video that I'll do around success and kind of defining success for ourselves as opposed to using other people's definitions of what it might mean. But, you know, I realized being happy is what's important to me. Waking up in the morning and thinking, oh my God, thank you, universe. I'm so excited for this day. Thank you for collaborating with me to create this awesome life. That's happiness to me, and that's what I realized was more important and what I was after. We can have it all. Back to dream big. Don't let doubters get in your head. Another thing I learned was to just be selective about who I would take my big dreams to. I'm impressionable and I'm sensitive, and the second that somebody tells me that they think something isn't possible for me, rather than kind of taking the defiance that I talked about earlier and going, oh yeah, well, I'll show you, I get deflated. I know that about myself. And so there are some people that I might not share my big dreams with, and I think that's okay. It's learning who's safe. You know, who's safe and who's going to support and be a cheerleader for our biggest dreams. I absolutely have people who are huge supporters in my life, and no matter what I tell them, I feel safe telling them my biggest dreams, and they will always, their response will be, I'm on the sidelines with pom-poms. I'm so excited to see you manifest that. So that's a wonderful thing. If you have people that you know aren't going to be, you know, great supporters for you, just maybe keep it quiet. That's fine. Let your dream be your own. And then on the flip side, once it's manifested, you can go, oh yeah, by the way, I created this. This was my dream. This is my dream all along. And if you're feeling uncertain as to whether or not something can be yours, look around for inspiration. I've really put myself in the habit of doing that, because otherwise I only know what I know, and it's based on probably things I've seen in the past or experienced in the past, but so much of what I want, all the really great stuff, I have not seen it yet in my life. So I don't have that experience to go, oh yeah, it's just like that last time I did whatever. No, so I look outside of myself and I say, well, gosh, this person created that and that person created that. So you know what? I'm very much like them. You know, like we're all so much more similar than we realize. I can have it too. So that dream is possible, or something, you know, even better. It's like, that saying that I have mentioned in videos past. It's like, yes, please, universe, this thing that I want or better. Surprise me in the best way. So some examples, you know what? About 11 years ago, I manifested for myself a dream job. And, I went from working in the corporate world to deciding I felt a little bit burned out from it and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I took a year off, blew through my money, and then realized I got to get back to work. But one thing that I knew is that I wanted to create something that would feel really good to me. And the catchphrase or the mantra, the affirmation, whatever you want to call it, the way I described it was I would love part-time hours for full-time pay. And, there were extras thrown in like doing what I love, what feels like a fit for me, where I feel fulfilled and I'm working with somebody really cool or with cool people and the schedule is my own. I feel like I've got this time freedom where I can still kind of do what I want to do when I need to do it or want to do it. And out of the blue, this job appears, which I wouldn't have known to look for, right? It wasn't necessarily a job title that I would go, yep, that's the one. That's going to be the dream job. But I had all those other details and I could kind of feel, what my dream job felt like. And sure enough, when it came to be, I joke that for the first few months, I was doing something super cool that I loved, and I was working for a guy who's really cool. And I was maybe working like 5 to 10 hours a week. And I was like, the checks kept coming. And that was one of those things where if somebody had told me, oh, this kind of a job exists, I probably would have been like, yeah, sure it does. But I manifested this dream job and I was working remotely. So, I've been working remotely for more than a decade and it feels great. I absolutely love it. So think about what's important to you and what's in your big dream and realize it's out there. The second we think it, it's out there somewhere. And our job is just to become a vibrational match. And I could feel it. I could feel that I would manifest the perfect for me job. And it was a dream job in every single way. My dream relationship. So when Jim and I met, I joke that sometimes you have to kiss a lot of frogs. And this is no disrespect to frogs. Jim came along and it was that one of those like, oh my gosh, here's somebody who I'm head over heels for. He fits all of my dream partner attributes and then some, things I didn't even know to ask for. He was down to earth. He's responsible, smart, funny. And guess what? No drama. I mean, if you had asked me even a couple years before meeting Jim, do you think it's possible? I mean, in my heart of hearts, I knew it was possible, but I, for whatever reason, kind of kept manifesting and I was coming up just short. It's like, oh, I've got maybe 80% of the list covered, my dream partner list, but that other 20% it's a real ball buster. I can't do it. And then Jim came along and it was like, yes, that's what I knew. That's what I could feel was out there, that he was my big dream. And then he showed up, or better put, we became a vibrational match for each other. Huge jumps in pay. I've been able to, where, maybe logic or something, I don't know why I'm using air quotes, Britney Spears air quotes. Sorry, that's a joke for somebody who knew me like 20 years ago. So somebody might say, well, gosh, if you are here and you're working for a company, the most you could hope to do would be to jump just a little bit higher. Like it's typically 5% a year, or it's 10% a year at most. Yeah, I throw all that out the window. It's like, well, what do I want? Like, where am I in my life at this point? How much do I value myself? That's where it comes down to. So if you're somebody who wants to see a jump in pay, go back to your own self-worth and start believing that you're that valuable. And you're going to see a whole bunch of things in your life change. And yeah, you can manifest big jumps in pay for yourself as a result of that. Another big one for me, which felt like a dream for a long time. I mean, I'm somebody who struggled with self-esteem and in particular body image, when I was probably starting when I was an adolescent and then a teenager. Those were rough years. 20s, like half my 20s feel like they were really dicey. And then the other half, it's like, a little bit better, but still, not as great as it could be. And even into my early 30s. And I just remember it felt like so hard for me to envision that I would one day love my body, that I would look at myself and go, wow, yes, this is what I want. I love everything about myself. I love my face and my hair and, what my arms look like and my leg. Like the whole package works and I feel so good about it. I wanted that. It felt so far, far, far out of my reach, again, probably up until my mid 30s. And then I finally just kind of put this one manifestation into place. And, it was me kind of looking behind me or like in a rear view mirror. And in my past was all the struggle around, you know, self image and self worth, and in particular, how my body looked and felt to me. And instead, I was in this place of like, wow, I feel awesome. I can't even imagine that I used to struggle with that looking back, because of how great I feel now and how sustainable this feels. So that was something else. Gosh, and then another one of my big dreams was manifesting a friend group for myself where a majority of my friends are psychics and or energy healers. That was something that really intrigued me, is people who have that gift. And it took about a year, and I think I've talked about kind of how I changed my friend group around and the different tools that I use to do that. And I wanted my inner circle to be people who were kind of spoke the same language as me and were really interested in metaphysics and were healers, had gifts, psychic intuitive gifts, those types of things. And then the next thing I know, I say the next thing I know, I mean, it really took about a year, and there was this wonderful transformation that just happened. I feel like it was me working my tools for a short bit and then trusting that they would work, and that just tipped that domino. And then the next thing I know, very easily, a year later, I was like, oh my gosh, like my friend group feels so much better to me than it had previously. And I still held on to some long, like lifelong friends came along as well. So, you know, we can do it. We can have everything that we want. We can have the biggest, the best. We're the ones who just have to change our beliefs around it. Go, yeah, that is possible for me. Everything is possible. And I believe in magic. Thank you so much for being here. Happy manifesting, everyone. Again, if you like the video, give it a little thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to know when new videos are posted. And until next time, bye-bye.